Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Lawdog Sports, the weekend big show here with you. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, joined by my partner and two-thirds of the unholy triumvirate and master of the airways, ruler of the airwaves, Jeremy Schroeder. Jeremy, it's good to be back with you again this week. I don't know what episode to count this as we are, we're back in a reboot, so to speak.
Is this three?
I think I think it's technically two. And
we had the soft opening.
we had the soft opening.
There we go. Yeah.
Last week was the 12th.
No. It was, yes. Yeah, no.
No,
that was 2 weeks ago.
Soft opening was the 5th, and the big grand poobah was Friday the 12th. And then so we went last week and we're back again. So that's called a heater.
That's right. It's a streak.
Two more and it's a streak. So anyways, but I'm sure I'm scaring off our first guest here on the show today, but she's probably like, what am I doing here with these guys for? But let's go ahead and welcome her. Her name is Ronda Smickless, and she and I have a connection that goes way back. She is the daughter of my very first police supervisor back in 1992 when I hit the streets as a 22-year-old young buck. Her dad already had 25 years on. And I remember thinking, you guys have been a cop long enough in life. But I worked for him for 2 years. Well, you were probably just in grade school then. But so anyways, I worked for him for 2 years. And I'm telling you, he was old school, Jeremy. He did not take any crap from anybody. And when the weekend nights popped open and a lot of supervisors would be kind of hiding out and not wanting to be messed with, he and another supervisor that we worked for would be out there helping. And that meant a lot to me. And her dad is a great guy. But her name is Ronda Smickless, and she's with the Children's Health Foundation. Ronda, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, and Jeremy's here with us. And you sent me some information a while back, and since I'm in Western Oklahoma, you have some things going on out this way. And I think when you speak about links and clubs and terrible scoring, you're hitting me
You're in the right spot today.
You're hitting me right where I is. So talk to me about this event that you guys have coming up in Western Oklahoma. I believe at Prairie West Golf Course.
That is correct. We do have lots of connections, Chuck. Actually, my dad's from Western Oklahoma, so there's also that connection. Really? So, yeah, my dad grew up in Hammond, Elk City area. Yeah, so it's kind of my old stomping ground. But so, as you said, I'm a development officer with Children's Health Foundation, and we are a local nonprofit that has been raising funds for 40 years here in the Oklahoma City area and in the state. And we provide funds to Children's Hospital. We fund research. We've got 30 plus endowed chairs, plus some other programs that we sponsor. And since our inception, we've raised over $160 million. Part of that reason is obviously because we have great community partnerships. Community shows up and helps us fundraise. And one of our local partners is Officials versus Cancer. Yeah. And they are a nonprofit that was started by Leland Searcy a few years ago. And they raise funds to benefit research for cancer, children's pediatric cancer. And so they've done a golf tournament for us for the last several years, and they're putting one on again this year. And we are going to be out at Prairie West, like you said, in Weatherford. They have raised close to $70,000 for us since they started in 2018. So they're a great partner. We're looking forward to this golf tournament. It will happen on June 28th. That's a Friday. We'll have a 7:30 registration and then an 8 o'clock scramble start. There'll be a hole-in-one contest, a chance to win $10,000. We've got closest to the pin. There'll be prizes, raffles. Food will be included, a couple drink tickets for everybody, some swag. So we're looking for sponsors. There's availability there. We're looking for teams just to get the word out and make this a really successful event.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not to blow my own horn here, but I'm kind of a cherished commodity in the Weatherford community. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I know that.
I will I can't even say that with a straight face, but the Weatherford sports community has been very, very kind to me and very understanding of what kind of poor quality play-by-play I bring to their sports. But for some reason, they have me back, and nobody raises too big of a stink. But no, I tell you, and a day in a scramble, and I was telling Jeremy before we went on the air, he's in Norman. And if I could drag him out here for some golf, I think he would. I think he would dig Prairie West because
wonder what the highest score anybody's ever shot in a scramble out there. Because I think we got it.
Well, there's this term called pencil whipping.
Sure.
And if you
can you buy mulligans?
You can buy mulligans. You pay $20 a pop. You can up your game.
Nice. Okay.
I don't know what Ronda's event sponsors, but so May 28th, you said, and that's a Friday, correct?
June 28th.
Oh, June 28th. Okay.
Yeah, sorry,
so
June
that
28th.
gives me even more time to practice. So
you can get out, get the sticks out. Yep.
Well, and so if people want more information just about Children's Health Foundation, where can they go?
Our website is chfkids.com. That'll give you a great overview, all the general information, all the programs that we support. That'll give you links to our Grateful Families, our Champion Children videos, that type of thing. Yeah. And you can always, like I said, get in touch with Leland or Daryl out in Weatherford. Colby Miller's also helping us on this. Reach out. We'll get you information. Yeah.
Sure. Well, and I told you that we'll reach out to our friend John Matthews, who's a radio personality, and then also he's got some other connections and stuff. We'll see what we can do to help promote this and get some people jumping in there. And probably my fear with Jeremy would be there will be some drink carts going around. And I saw this reel one time on Instagram where it says my buddy four drinks in and the cart girl calls him hun.
Yeah.
He goes,
no. I value my life, sir.
Well, that's true. That's true.
It might be one of those videos where 4 drinks in and the cart's in the pond.
That's where I thought he was going, maybe jumping into a water hazard.
Yeah. So no, but Prairie West is a great place to have a scramble, and I know the Weatherford folk like to turn out for those type of events, and they really are a blast. And I look forward to touching base with you again and trying to help promote this with our small media wing, and then also maybe about 2 weeks before the event, let's get you back on here, kind of see how things are going, and I'll do my best to get the information out there for this awesome event.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
No problem. Rhonda, take care. Tell your dad I said hello, and just to share a story about your father, which you probably had a bunch of people share stories about your father. We pulled some people out of and this is old school for you, and this is why I can't stand new cops. We pulled some people out of a building that was kind of on fire, but really just mostly smoke.
What does kind of on fire mean?
There was a fire in the building, but it wasn't like engulfing. So,
okay.
And being over there on the southeast part of the Oklahoma City area, it was surprising that it didn't go quicker. But me and district partner pulled some people out of there, and we kind of just half. And Rhonda's father's name is Larry Don, and you don't call him Larry, you don't call him Don, you call him Larry Don. And I said, Larry Don, I said, we might need to be put in for life-saving medals for that. And he goes, why would you be put in for life-saving medals? It's your job. And that's the old school.
There it is.
That is. And you know what? He was right. That's your job. You don't have to be patted on the back. And he really was one of my favorite supervisors. And I got to run into him at the airport a couple of years back, took a selfie with him and posted on Facebook, which I don't know how he took that, but his wife enjoyed it. So,
I was going to say, my dad took a selfie. Are you sure?
Yeah, with me. So he's a great man, and I appreciated him throughout my career, and he helped me a lot. And I'll do my best to help you, Rhonda, and help us try to promote your event out in Western Oklahoma.
I appreciate you so much. Western Oklahoma is great people. They always, like you said, they care, they turn up, they turn out. So I'm super excited it's out there this year.
Definitely. Rhonda Smickless, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Jeremy. So kind of got you on the hook now to see if we can drag your hind end out to Western Oklahoma for some golf here in the near future.
Yeah. Need to get the day pass from the wife.
Yeah. I mean, tell her you're coming out to visit Chuck. That have to go a long ways.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Tell her it's work. Tell her it's work involved.
Yeah.
I'm glad she.
I told her
I,
we were the 16th rated podcast, Oklahoma-based podcast in Oklahoma, and she was not impressed. So
that didn't go anywhere with Claudia.
No, it did not help at all. No,
we'll shoot for top 10. That's all I can.
I guess we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to impress you?
So if we're top 10, are you then a little more leeway on your golf trip?
That is possible. Yeah.
Bring the daughter. She can swing with us.
Yeah.
It'll be summer.
She's not an outside person.
All right. Well, anyway, Ronda said, go to chfkids.com. That's the Children's Health Foundation, and they're a great organization. I tell you, Jeremy, anybody that helps out the Children's Hospital is big time in my book, because God bless the people that work there and take care of kids there, because it's a tough endeavor to see kids who are really, really sick, and we all.
And it takes a special kind of person to be able to get through that.
Yeah,
it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, just to be able to really just be able to go and do your job and do what you're supposed to do. So kudos to them, and kudos to anybody who's working to raise money for them. So anyway, so we thank Rhonda Smickless for stopping by and talking about that, and hopefully she realizes I tell the stories about her father with the most intense endearment. He was a great man. So
I'm looking at the Prairie West Golf Club's course overview here, and there seems to be a common theme that every hole has a blind second shot. So, interesting. I'm just reading
obviously the par threes don't, but
here we go. Let's see. Drive over low area. That's not it. Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
There's some ravines and stuff that, like, you want to get far enough to get some roll, down a hill, so to speak. But it's a fun course. I tell you, I've played Romanos twice now, and man, I'm telling you, that is canyon hopping. I mean, it is a lot of woods, and a lot of just, like you said, blind shots. So
those are no bueno.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, I've stocked up on cheap golf balls. So anyways, well, let's get into some sports, Jeremy. And that's what
let's do it.
Fridays on the Weekend Big Show. And we're streaming live on Facebook as well. So NFL draft started last night, and OU had a player go in the first round, and Dallas Cowboys picked him up. And after a trade with who was it they traded with? Was it
who else would it be? It would be the Buffalo Bills.
That's what I thought. And then they traded back down, right?
Yes. So that Xavier Worthy is going to have a Hall of Fame career now. So they grabbed that pick from the Bills.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this. I know Worthy's fast. I know I just think corners in the NFL are going to abuse him.
Probably. He doesn't seem like he has a lot of upper body strength.
For Patrick Mahomes' purposes, I would have gone with Mitchell there.
I would have gone with Xavier Leggett out of South Carolina. He's a big physical guy. Looks like Deebo Samuel out there. He's a Swiss Army knife.
Exactly. And, and that's one of the things about, I don't know, they're talking about day 2 guys and some receivers that could go today. And one is the big kid from Florida State. And they're talking about him potentially going to Buffalo, and, where speed isn't necessarily the most, top end speed isn't necessarily the most vital characteristic in a receiver. You want big body, you want good hands, and able to go up and get 50-50 balls.
Be able to block, because they're going to run Josh Allen a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to say, the pick that surprised me the most, and I know we're talking about a draft where quarterbacks just went, but I thought the kid seemed very interesting as well in his reaction to his being drafted. But looking at where'd he go? Saw him on there earlier. Oh, at number 22, the Eagles take Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo.
Holy yes.
Toledo. Yep. And I saw him at the draft, and he's very low key, not too flashy dressed, just Probably going to be an Eagles staple, if I had to guess. Just his demeanor and his look and the way he carried himself, he just screams Eagle defenseman to me.
You know, a defense. There was not a defensive player drafted until the 15th pick. The Leatu Latu from UCLA, who USC is already claiming because he played for that defensive coordinator last year.
Well, there you go. Well, then 3 in a row. After when he broke the egg, then it was 2 more, and then some other edge rushers. But are you a little surprised? And I know maybe it's just not that great of a year for defensive tackles, but the Murphy kid is listed as a defensive tackle. He wasn't the guy that Sweat was in there, right?
No, but
I mean, 6'2", 300. I mean, that's you could say he. I mean, was he a 3? Was he an
unbeatable value for
all? Was he?
He's more of a
guy?
He's more of a 5 technique guy, I think.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Kind of like that, when out they got him listed 6'1", 297. From Combine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a good run. He's a good run stuffing guy. He's big enough to play down low. Aaron Donald was what, 285, maybe soaking wet.
Sure.
He doesn't have that kind of ability, but you can still be an athletic 290, sub 300 guy and be an effective run stuffer in the NFL.
Sure. Was the Wiggins kid out of Clemson? Would he have been a Venables guy to start?
Where was he drafted?
He's number 30.
Nate Wiggins. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it would have been like probably his last recruiting class there.
Yeah. Okay, Marty Wandry checking in says, get him out here and do a simulcast at Clinton Liquor. You know what? That might be something to drag your butt out here for too. Would a sixer of Yingling kind of be enough payment to drag you out to Clinton?
Have you tried the clubby seltzers when you're on the golf course?
No, I have not.
They're pretty good.
State parks. I don't know if it's a state park thing, but there's no drink cart or all I've found is waters at the clubhouse at Romano's. I don't know if that's.
So can you bring your own on? Or?
No, you're not supposed to, but maybe I'll make a trip to Marty Wandry. Check that out. Yeah, he says get him out here and do a simulcast at Clinton Liquor. So, Marty, you might not be that far off from an idea there. So
yeah.
But that he commented that earlier. I actually missed that for a bit. So my apologies to Marty Wandry. But there at Clinton Liquor, we sure appreciate him. Were you surprised at the order of receivers that went? Were you a clear Mark Harrison Jr. goes first guy?
Everyone else was. That's what I've been told. Listen, the kid's super talented. Is there that much difference between him and Malik Neighbors? Probably not.
I heard people on the radio yesterday that just really went on and on and on and on about Rome Odunze.
Yeah, right. But you got to look at, Harrison and Neighbors are both explosive guys.
Sure.
Odunze is going to be more of your possession guy. He's really strong, but he's not going to blow you away with his speed. He's a 4.5 kid, which isn't slow, but you got guys running 4.2s now.
Well, yeah. And so with Odunze going to the Bears at number 9 and Caleb Williams going to the Bears at number 1, in between there were some picks that were kind of interesting.
You don't say. Which one, Chuck?
Which go alt to the Charger? No, I'm kidding. Wow. Michael Penix Jr., the Washington quarterback, who was really kind of lumped in there as 3 or 4 A or B.
I have seen him. I personally, ability. I think we talked about him last week. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be a good player. Now, if I've got a quarterback who's guaranteed $100 million and is on the hook for 2 more years after that, am I going to take a 25-year-old quarterback and pay him first-round money to sit and watch Kirk Cousins? No.
I don't know. You brought up good factors. I saw tweets today talking about, and here's the thing: you can by no stretch of the imagination claim that it's the worst draft pick ever.
No, it's not the worst draft pick ever.
It may be the worst in this first round.
But there's a reason why the Falcons pick 8th every year.
Well, sure, and there's a reason why. There's reasons why all over the place in the NFL. There's a reason why Kyle Shanahan will never hoist a Super Bowl trophy. There's a reason why he choked off a 25-point lead at Atlanta. But I threw out the fact that it's not as bad as what it sounds like to me, because of the fact that, yes, you're paying Cousins a ton of money. What were some of the landing places for Cousins if he didn't go to Atlanta?
They were bidding against themselves. That's why it's such a head-scratching deal. Who else was going to give him that money? I mean, who else? Yeah, he's a good NFL quarterback, but what's he won? What's he done when the lights are brightest?
Well, I mean,
Bubkus.
He spent a lot of time in Washington with what around
him? Granted, yeah, he spent a lot of time in Minnesota with what around him.
There's 32 teams in the NFL. Is he one of the top 16? Come on.
Yeah, I would say
gotta say he's top 16. I mean,
I'm not a Kirk Cousins hater, but I'm not about $100 million to a 38-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles.
Yeah, I mean, dumb move.
Especially when we need, that franchise is not a quarterback away.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of weapons.
They can't rush the passer.
Do you think that maybe that they are looking at an Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes type of situation where we don't get our rookie killed?
But he hasn't played Cousins hasn't played a single game.
No, but
Alex Smith had this many one season left on his contract when they drafted Mahomes. Not fresh off 3 years guaranteed and then another 2 in the hopper. Yeah. Should they choose to extend him? I mean, heck, Penix might not take a snap until he's 30.
Well,
really? And you're paying him first round money.
But I mean, first round money isn't much anymore. I mean, there lies the thing that
it's a good edge rusher.
Yeah.
When you can't rush the passer. It's a good corner when you can't cover anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
it's silly. You only get so much money. Yeah. If you want to develop a quarterback, get a developmental quarterback.
Yeah.
Like I said, it didn't have to be Rattler. That was just the name that was at the front of my brain when I tweeted back at you.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's somebody else they could grab that they could try to develop behind him.
I don't know. I mean, you're talking about, where's Gardner Minshew at this year?
He's the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders, sir.
Yeah. So
because they were going to draft Penix and
yeah.
Whoops.
Well, I like Penix, but I do see the issues with him and maybe even Roma Dunze in the fact that they lit up Oregon twice and lit up Texas.
Well,
faced a lot of subpar Pac-12 talent and showed out. Could they?
And I'm not even going to hate on JJ McCarthy too much. But the Bo Nix pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a bubble screen merchant.
That's what he was asked to do at Oregon.
Well, what was he asked to do at Auburn? Because there's a reason why he was at Oregon. Wasn't very good.
Yeah. I mean, but was the coaching situation at Auburn really even what you would call steady?
No.
So,
it's Auburn. Auburn's a dumpster fire.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Bo Nix should go before McCarthy, but obviously I would, and Dan Narva's not on here, so we can't consult him, but the Midwest, they seem to affix themselves to others from the Midwest. Was that safe to say?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, goes to Las Vegas. So, I mean, he seems to be a heck of a weapon. Were you surprised that like a Jatavian Sanders didn't go in the first round?
No. I think his combine numbers weren't great.
Okay.
I think he bench pressed 225 8 times. I remember that. Yeah, he wasn't very fast.
Not worried about that much.
He's good in college. We'll see.
Yeah. On the quarterback pick, you know, I mean, everybody now believes that the Bears are super loaded with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. I mean, they did pick up Keenan Allen, who, once I pick him up on my fantasy team, he'll be out by week 7.
And they have Robbie Anderson, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you see Caleb Williams going into Soldier? I mean, here's the thing. Everybody talks about cold weather, cold weather, cold weather. It's not that cold anymore.
No.
I mean,
no.
even in Chicago,
that's a freaking crutch for a team that hasn't been able to draft a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland's had decent quarterback play. Buffalo, hello, Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, anybody else? Drew Bledsoe when he was there.
Yeah,
they've had good quarterback play, and they were
Mac
playing
Jones.
they were playing on a frozen parking lot for the better part of the 80s and 90s. It's a crutch. Tom Brady, does it get cold in Foxborough? Ever?
A little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, and I just think to myself, I could see a situation where Caleb Williams goes in and has success. I don't see a situation where Jaden Daniels goes in and has great success. He's not. Is he just kind of RG 3.2?
That's exactly what I thought when they drafted him. Congratulations, you should have drafted RG3.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
It's not like
Washington
like Cam Newton.
No. Washington is just it's just weird. It's just a weird situation. It always has been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who's there? They got Cliff Kingsbury's running their offense. Is that right? Or did he take that job? Okay, so at least they have a competent play caller. I don't know how competent. I mean,
I would trust Cliff.
Yeah, I mean,
I trust Cliff calling plays and quarterbacking coaches in the NFL. I mean, look what he did with in college.
That's where Dan Quinn went, right?
Yeah, he's head coach at
There you go. I mean, there you go. It's destined to fail. It's destined to fail. Defensive head coach. Cliff's going to get another head job. He's going to fail up again. Yeah. And then Daniels is going to he's going to have a new offensive coordinator with a new system, with new terminology every year for the next decade, just if he plays halfway decent.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't like that, and I don't like Drake May going to New England. That just seems like Daniel Jones, Mitchell Trubisky,
Mitch Trubisky 2.0.
Yeah.
Sam Howell.
Yeah. I mean,
Howell didn't really get much of a shot in Washington. I mean, that roster was awful.
Yeah.
The lame duck coach.
Yeah. Jeremy, to me, I just don't see competent quarterback play, and I'm not trying to put the crown on Bailey Zappi's head, but I mean, he's a guy who threw for a ton of yards in college.
Yeah.
He was a system quarterback because the coach at Western Kentucky is now the OC at Tech. And so it's understandable. It's all about, it's all about, getting the ball in space. There are guys that can do it. You can
spread it out and put it in space.
You can do that in the NFL, and you can do it from the pocket. But the thing about it is, I mean, New England is such a dumpster fire now that who you could put Caleb Williams in there, and he's not going to be successful until they figured some things out.
I was talking to Danny the other day, our good friend Danny from the airport.
Yeah, Gainesville.
And and we determined that Tom Brady is the greatest because Tom Brady is the system.
Yeah,
he was the system.
He was.
And they did run it. They ran a version of that West Coast air raid scheme where he spread it out, get the ball in space, let guys make plays, high percentage passes. But they change offensive coordinators about every other year, because these guys would get head jobs and ultimately fail because they didn't have Tom Brady.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the constant was always Brady. And then when Brady was gone, they destroyed Mac Jones, and that was that.
Yeah. And, and that's the thing. Mac had a good rookie season and then just regressed or had no help, whatever the case is, completely after.
You don't give the guy any weapons. You don't give him any coaching or development, and he regresses. It's a fragile thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everyone's good. Everyone's coming for you.
Well, and mock draft here from Lance Zerline, NFL draft analyst. He's got the Bills taking Adonai Mitchell in the first pick of the second round. The Patriots taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, the Alabama
Kool-Aid.
And, I just, to me, I think so many times, and even dang it, Belichick himself, even Belichick himself has struck on late round cornerbacks. You can find speed and cover ability in the late rounds. I know McKinstry's, being touted highly by the mothership and everyone else, but no offensive line. There's only so many offensive line in this linemen and going to go in this draft. I think
you should really build from the inside out.
You would think,
and that's been most dynasties.
Yeah,
secret of their success is they're able to get good offensive line, good defensive line play.
Look what a quality center has meant for Kansas City.
No doubt.
Look at that
yeah,
line.
It's covered up a lot of their warts on the outside for the
Humphreys
Chiefs.
is the link in that offensive line. So one more thing, I'm kind of interested in this Iowa defensive back, Cooper DeJean.
Why is that? What's so special about him? What's so special and different about him?
Well, that's the thing.
What is it? What is it, Chuck?
That boy white. He's white. Yeah, Cooper.
Before we get into Cooper DeJean, I was watching the Todd McShay and was it Mel Kiper? But Mel Kiper, the guy, it was Frank Caliendo doing his Mel Kiper.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Todd. He's just shaking his head.
That is so quality. And you know what? That the scandal has prevented Caliendo from breaking out is Chucky.
Sure.
Did that so well, and then also, the sessions with the quarterbacks was always a quality deal. But so second round starts tonight. I don't see any OU or OSU players listed in the second round on the NFL on this Lance Zerline's.
I've got DeJean as the best player available right now on ESPN draft board.
Yeah.
So
are running backs and linebackers just basically going to become, undrafted free agents in every single year?
Doesn't it seem like it?
Yeah.
We didn't have a single back drafted in the first round. Now, I mean,
unless you want to count an edge rusher, I don't know. Is that kind of
that's a linebacker? I mean, that's a hybrid defensive end stand-up outside guy in a 3-4 scheme. But there's not a running back listed. Jonathan Brooks is the first running back listed in this best available, and he's
coming off an ACL. Oh, we lost you, Jeremy. Where'd you go, buddy? Hope that's not my really hope that's not my stream. It might be on his end because I've still got video here. Let's see what he's doing. Nope, he's on the stream. Are you hearing? There you are.
I got you now. There you are.
Did I freeze or did you?
I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at the Facebooks right now.
Mine says your internet connection is unstable. So rural broadband.
Rural
broadband. So let's jump out of the NFL draft, and I think it's a total mistake to draft Xavier Worthy. So your Chiefs are going to suck. Get ready. But
yeah, I'm sure they're going to be crying themselves to sleep with all their Lombardi trophies
on their 3,000 count thread.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So NBA playoffs going on. Jeremy, I got to say, the lovely bride of mine, Gina, she just gets the biggest kick out of the Thunder post-game interviews. She
Yeah.
loves seeing them act like kids, and
it's funny as heck. Yeah.
It is really cool. And I
what
mean,
was the funniest thing was the first playoff game, because OKC didn't get a lot of national TV games because it's Oklahoma City. They're not supposed to be any good.
Yeah.
So the sideline reporters sitting there trying to interview SGA, and all of a sudden the entire team's behind him barking and being stupid. Like, oh, this is great. And she did not know what to do.
The two Jalen Williamses, let's see, Marty Wandry, it's all on you now. Chuck did what? Check back in with me, Marty. No, you're exactly right. And I tell you, the two Jalen Williamses, they are just the funniest in those post-game interviews. And I'm not sure which one is funnier, because is J-Dub the one from Santa Clara?
Yeah, that's Santa Clara, and
Jay Wills from Arkansas.
Pretty sure.
Okay. Marty said it was me that froze. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Internet connection in rural Oklahoma. So J-Dub, he seems like to be the more mischievous, even though Jay Will is always right there. But you'll see J-Dub pop up behind with a towel and kind of, it's just so fun. And I'll tell you this, Jeremy, I was there for the playoff runs up into the 2012 finals, and there was nothing similar like that going on with that.
No, that was back in the CIA Thunder days, when you couldn't get a drop of information out of that organization.
Was it Presti or Scott Brooks?
I don't know. Or was probably Presti. Yeah,
I mean,
Durant is a registered weirdo, so it could have been. And Russ doesn't like to talk to the media.
Well, Westbrook likes to belittle the media. I mean,
sure,
he beat up poor old
Barry Trammell.
over
a
simple question, and then the headline, and I mean,
well, that was KD, Mr. Unreliable.
Yeah, but I mean, that was even misguided. That was Westbrook taking up for his teammate.
Had to print an apology.
Yeah.
That was silly.
I think it's just really cool. I don't know what, nobody can really say how far that squad will get into the playoffs, but I do know that they are basically just on house money. I mean, they
played so well the other night, just both ends of the floor. They came out early, and it looked like Valanciunas was going to score 100 points, and then they just shut him down.
Yeah. And, I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe you, maybe you're drawing a nice one there with no Zion. I don't know, but, he would make a difference on the boards, maybe even more so, but
probably,
I don't know. To me, I just look at it and say, there's things that this Thunder team has deficiencies in, but there's also things that they do that really make it tough on other teams. I mean,
that's true. And the teams they struggle with are the Lakers for some reason. It's a terrible matchup for them.
Don't have to worry about that.
and they've struggled a little bit with the Pelicans this year.
Yeah.
They're always pretty close games.
Yeah. Well, and you need to go get a win, obviously, on the road, at least one, and so you can come back. But so what's their next one? Tomorrow at 2:30. It's an afternoon game.
Yep.
I hate Saturday afternoon games.
I know.
I don't like them. And
just cut your day apart.
Really, well, I'm talking about for them. For me, I'll just check in on it sparingly anyway. But no, to me, knowing younger people, like I think I know younger people, those later starts are more behooving to their.
Yeah, well, because at 2:30 they'll be done by 5. Then then there's 6 months between tomorrow's game and then the next game, so they may be out exploring the Crescent City tomorrow night. And, just keep Josh Giddey away from the. They're one scandal from that dude away from being the most likable team in the NBA.
That's right, and he keeps out of the. He definitely
doesn't
out of the post games, and I mean he'll go do the post game interviews, but he's not inside doing it.
The young man had to learn a lesson, I guess.
Yeah. Game going on right now, Jeremy. From what I can tell, I think is this today's game? The Bucks.
It can't be already.
I'm showing first quarter 39-22. Is that?
Yeah, it could be. Let me get on the mothership site.
Yeah,
No,
check that out for us.
oh yeah, 39-22.
Yeah,
Pacers. What?
you talk about a implosion.
Listen, this is beautiful. I mean, anybody can win it this year. Anybody except the Lakers. The Lakers can't win it.
This should be the year that the Celtics have a lot better chance.
Yeah. LeBron should probably just hang it up.
Somebody photoshopped him in a Spurs outfit the other day.
Ugh.
Spurs uniform.
I just remember when Jordan was 38 and when they were on the second end of their second three-peat. I think he was either on the all defensive team or he had been named the most valuable defensive most valuable player.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah. And, and the thing about it is, yeah, you can go out and score all these points. The game is geared up for you to go out and score all these points. Somebody showed a clip the other day of Lane Beard just flat, body slamming Jordan on a drive to the bucket. And he was ready to scrape. And, and somebody showed a kind of a whiff of a forearm, almost caught LeBron in the nose, and he looked like he had been shot. I mean, but I don't know. But I mean, the league is geared up for guys who have that kind of physical prowess, and there's no denying he's got a lot of physical prowess.
Oh, he's
a complete specimen.
6'7", 280.
Yeah, but I
mean,
or
6'8", 280. I mean, he's a big dude.
But I mean, they go out and they work so hard in the first half, and then they are just gassed. And somebody contributed in game 2 to the altitude in Denver. Well, they weren't in altitude in LA last night.
They have one guy who scored a bench point in this series. One guy.
Who was that?
And D'Angelo Russell didn't score a single stinking point last night.
He was bad.
He's just been horrible in this series. And let me see. I'll just let me pull up their box score from last night.
I've got it right here if you want it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Aaron Gordon. So the starters for
here.
Well, really, I mean, Jeremy, the bench for Denver wasn't Reggie Jackson.
Well, yeah, the benches get shorter in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, they played 6 guys off the bench and got very little production.
Where was
Torian Prince? He's the only bench player they've had that scored in all 3 games.
But I mean, honestly, 5 points from Rui Hachimura and 2 rebounds. That's not why you brought him over, right?
No, and 0 points and 2 assists,
3
steal, a walk. Yeah, that's not why you brought D'Angelo Russell back.
Spencer Dinwiddie, 8 points. Torian Prince, 7. I don't know what Jackson Hayes even does on that. But here's the thing. I mean, it's been kind of a trade-off throughout the playoffs and the play-in that they can't seem to get Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell contributing on the same night.
And they should probably put D'Angelo Russell's rear end on the bench and play somebody else. It's play Dinwiddie.
I mean, I love it. I love seeing them struggle.
Yeah.
I love seeing them get beat, and I love on Fox Sports radio the odd couple.
Broussard and
the other guy. Daggone
it. Chris Broussard and Steve. Oh gosh, what's his name? Anyways,
he really chips at the Lakers about their bubble title.
Bubble gangsters.
Yeah, he calls it a Penny Annie or something like that title.
It's not real.
Yeah, so it's just amazing.
Rob Parker,
yeah, Rob Parker, and what's the other guy's name?
Chris Broussard.
Broussard and Parker, the odd couple. So, but yeah, it's just it's so great to see Denver, and it was so great to see Jamal Mashburn just rip their heart out. I mean, that was just was that before? Did that happen before we went on the air last week? No, it was it was Sunday.
Was that?
It was game 2.
Game 2.
Yep.
Oh yeah. When no, it was not Jamal Mashburn. He's been retired for
Jamal
many
Murray.
years.
I thought I
Jamal
said
Murray.
I thought I
Yeah.
said but
Yeah, and then watch LeBron, weep openly in the post game presser, and
about the
AD act like a
call.
5-year-old.
Oh,
Guys, come on, grow up.
And that missed call was in the third quarter.
Right, and they're crying about it in the third
most
quarter.
Teams get mad about that and mount a big, huge comeback and take the game. That's what goats do. Last I checked. So, all right.
Him.
So, let's get back to NBA playoffs. Your Thunder, I like them. They're fun to watch. Don't know the true ceiling on this season, but I mean,
West Finals.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. You're right on schedule.
And then Presti goes to work to find out if they can get somebody that
they just need a rebounder.
Yeah,
big guy.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing: Denver's got their window, and their window's wide open right now. So I mean, they're going to be a tough out.
Yes.
And
as long as they can keep Jokic interested, because he is just this is his job. He doesn't love it. It's just his job. He wants to go home and race his horses.
Yeah. Doug Gottlieb shared a tweet last night, or was it today? It was earlier today. And I guess it's Michael Porter Jr. with a push in the back on LeBron. And it is, I'm going to share it.
LeBron looked like he got hit by a truck.
Yeah. I mean, it was the secondary is like back and to the left. Back and to the left. It's
while we're on the
Zapruder tape of NBA basketball.
While we're on the subject of the NBA, did you see Chet's commercial with Kevin Durant narrating it about stepping into big shoes, taking over the city, being the okay. Well, there's a new Nike commercial. I guess Chet is signed under the KD line, so that's what it was, and it was KD narrating it, talking about being the guy in the city and what that means, and the shoes he's got to fill.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seem like Kevin Durant's just testing the waters because he wants to come home.
You think he wants to finish up here?
Well, yeah, because he said, come on. I mean, he could be the missing piece of a championship team.
I mean, it would,
and that's kind of been his MO, right?
Yeah. I mean, go where the wins are. Go where the title possibility is. I mean, hell, bring the whole band back.
And he probably
them your second unit.
And he probably rightly assumes that if he would have won a title in OKC, I mean, he could have just they probably would just put him in the Hall of Fame right then.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean,
you won a title at a small market team. I mean, look how revered Pop is in San Antonio.
Oh yeah, Tim Duncan, those guys, they'll never ever pay for anything in San Antonio.
Sure, and Giannis's legacy in Milwaukee, which is a small market team.
Yeah. Jeremy on Twitter, apparently Brian Windhorst says D'Angelo Russell will likely turn down his player option and become a free agent this summer. Isn't that kind of Captain Obvious stuff? I mean,
yeah, he's probably tired of LeBron telling him he's going to trade him every single day. And
well, and Lakers fans just, I know everybody has bad games. He's part of the reason they even got in the play-in.
Yeah.
I mean, there were games where he balled out and that kept them from being, down there in the 11 seed with, who was it?
Houston,
yeah. So, I mean, Lakers fans are the worst. I mean,
they are the worst. And by association, because they are Cowboys fans and Yankees fans. Because, Yeah.
Front runners. All right, let's get into some college football real quick, Jeremy. As I love your Thunder. If my Spurs can't be in the playoffs, I will root for the Thunder. And really, we didn't even touch on the other half of that. And we really don't need to, because the Clippers and the Mavs are just gonna, kind of pillow fight it out. And then the Suns will be finished off probably.
They may not win a game in this series.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, they're awful.
What's going on there?
They're built terribly, and
Durant, Beal, and Booker
I feel kind of bad for Bradley Beal because he goes to that dumpster fire and misses, he's having to put up with those two.
OKC played him at full strength at the end of the year, and OKC beat him by 20 stinking points.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. So 2-0 Minnesota leads that one, and looks like they play today. That'll be the 9:30 game. So Suns better belly up and try something. They're at home, and they've got to try to pull one back. So we'll see if they do. And then the Clippers are at 7:00 tonight. So plenty of NBA action for you tonight. And then also I listened to more of it on the radio last week than what I saw even in highlights. I have not had, here was my week, Jeremy. Weatherford baseball senior night on Monday, Weatherford soccer senior night on Tuesday, Weatherford baseball playoffs in Chickasha on Wednesday, Weatherford baseball playoffs in Chickasha yesterday. So I have not had a chance to sit down and really check out the spring game highlights that much. I heard what they were talking about kind of in the post game. You watched it on ESPN Plus. Obviously, Jackson Arnold, Deion Burks looks like a connection that could be something that
dynamite.
Special.
Yes.
Running game looked all right at times, I guess, and some highlights that I saw on the news. Defensive line, everybody's talking about that. Looks like a strength. Where did all this discontent for Jaren Kanak come from?
He gets lost on the field. He gets lost.
He's not.
That's what Dusty got caught. I don't know if it was a hot mic. I don't know if he meant to say it. Maybe if I see him at the gym later, sure. I'll ask him. But
you see Dusty at the gym?
Yeah.
Go tell him we want him on the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Dusty might be a little too big time.
No, the reason I say is that piece of crap. No, I love Dusty. He's not.
Whoa.
I reached out to him when you and I worked at the Willie. And there I am in full blown, legitimate, maybe with a police uniform on, I don't emit podcaster per se, but we were on the radio then, and I gave him a card, I think. And I said, man, we'd love to have you on the show. If you ever had 5 minutes, this and that. Never heard from him. So he's dead to me.
Dead to you.
Tell him I said that.
Well,
but if he'll come
I'll tell him. Good. Okay. Well, the thing with Kanak is a lot of it was, he's slow to react. He's 3 years in and is still having trouble diagnosing plays from the linebacker position. A lot of times, David Stone got driven 5 yards back into his area and cut him off from the play. So, there were issues there. Stone playing like a freshman. He was getting double teamed a lot. Well, it is what it is. He's not.
But I was told going into this that the offensive line was going to be total trash.
Yeah, I was too. And in fact, good friend Sean King was adamant about that. I was like, like I told you last time we talked about it. These guys met 3 weeks ago. Give them a little time to gel. They're going to be fine. Bill Bedenbaugh he's good at what he does. Another first round tackle last night.
Yeah,
they ran block well.
You get a first rounder off of last year's offensive line. I think that says a lot because I never got that great of a confident feeling from last year's line.
They were adequate.
Yeah, but
they weren't super great, but they couldn't run the football. You're right. A lot of times last year, I think Levy sabotaged that line, not purposely, just by not realizing that he had a good drive blocking team and keep trying to run zone.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, Jeremy, and I'm praying to the football heavens as an OU fan, which now I can really split my allegiance because they're in different conferences. I'll do my best to really cover and pay attention to OSU more. But the thing about it is, Jeremy, is the Mike Leach tree, which includes Levy, which includes Seth
Luttrell,
which includes Muleshoe, all of them, Kingsbury, all of them. They get so enamored with the 16-point play. It's like, let's go, everything's intermediate to long range.
Yep.
you said Bo Nix was check down Charlie. I mean, check down Charlie can move the ball. I mean, that you give it, you hit him in timing and stuff. And I mean, yes, you're not going to hit the big play, but do you remember, and this kind of goes against my theory, but I mean, it just shows that he could dial up. Do you remember the drive that Texas Tech had against OU in 2005, the one where Adrian Peterson scored with about 45 seconds or a minute left? It was the one where he threw that Tech defender out. It was the one with the fourth down or the end zone play that was under dispute and some calls. It was 05, Adrian Peterson.
That was in Lubbock,
in
right?
Lubbock, yeah. And
okay, that was Byron. Was that the Hanspard year?
I think Hanspard was gone.
Or Ricky Williams?
I don't know. I think it was like, I don't know. Do you need to get out?
No.
Okay, so I just remember it was 05. I think it was Paul. It was Rhett Bomar at quarterback.
Okay.
And Peterson reels off like a 48, 50-yard touchdown run. He literally he did the Reggie White, shut one armed out of the way.
Used a DB as a projectile. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, you should have took a knee at the one and run a few seconds, run some time off. And they gave.
I remember that 05 defense was a bit leaky.
It was a little bit leaky, but they shut down Oregon and whoever that quarterback was in the Holiday Bowl that year. But so anyway, Joey Harrington. No, he was gone already, I think.
Was it not Harrington?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was Harrington.
I think it was Kellen Moore.
Was it Kellen Moore? Okay. It was one of those guys.
Yeah, they didn't. So long story short, that was a game where a minute left, checkdowns were how Leach picked us apart and got down and got a score. Controversial score, but still. The problem with these air raid OCs is they just want to wow and they feel like that. I mean, it's kind of become the 3-point shot of football.
You're talking about like when Levy would just we'd have a team on the ropes and he would dial up a trick play or chuck it deep when they've been gouging them.
You tweeted for 2 straight years in the Jeff Levy era, an intermediate passing game would be really nice.
Yeah, super nice. Yes. Great. Love the intermediate passing game. Crossing routes, you can't cover them.
Oh, that was another thing that Leach just killed people with was crossing. But no, I mean, it's just, to me, I look at it and say, these offensive linemen run the ball, let it run block. Everybody that you hear talk about football says, yeah, these guys are nasty. They love to run block. And then they're pass blocking 60 to 70% of the plays. I mean, it just, I want to see Sawchuck and whoever else they're going to throw in the stable back there really get some carries, because we've seen it with and now particularly, Jeremy, going into the Southeast Conference, you've got to wear defenses down.
Yes.
To be able to perform late in the game.
Levy kept telling us reliably violent, and he wanted to lean on people in the second half.
Yeah. And
he wouldn't do it.
No.
Well, so he tried to do it with a friggin' jet sweep.
Yeah. And a receiver that can't hold on to the ball. So
oh my God.
Are there things about Jackson Arnold that you took away that you're happy with, and things that you took away that you were worried about?
I didn't really see a whole lot I was worried about from what they asked him to do. He didn't make a lot of risky throws. He didn't throw into a lot of bad coverages. There were several drops. That's why that number looks the way it was. I think he completed 50% of his passes. There were several drops.
Yeah.
He looked good. He moved around well. He ran when he needed to. He went through his progressions. He didn't just zone in on one guy. It looks like he's pretty comfortable back there.
Do you feel like the Alamo Bowl was just trailed saying we want to see what this guy
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And you know what that told me?
Huh.
He's got onions on him because he didn't stop throwing the ball.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always said, and we used to visit with John Little from KRLD in Dallas, who was part of the broadcast team for the Mean Green, if you remember. And I was used to say Luttrell's the only head coach that I would take money on in the octagon.
True.
Now maybe Dan Lanning in the pro eras, but I don't know. Okay, so OU spring.
Brady Leaf was the quarterback.
Oh, Ryan's younger brother.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. So was Kellen Moore was later?
He must have been. I'm looking through their. I'm on the Wikipedia right now,
Sure.
and of course they don't have a full roster.
Kellen Moore was Oregon, right?
I think so.
Was he Boise?
That sounds right.
Because I'll be straight.
Kellen Moore was Boise. I know who you're thinking of, though.
I get Boise and Oregon quarterbacks totally confused.
Yeah, I know who you're thinking of, though, and it's dang it. Let's see. I got list of Oregon quarterbacks here. Herbert, Mariota, Darren Thomas, Jeremiah Masoli, Dixon, Kellen Clemens.
Kellen Clemens. Okay, so it was Kellen, just not Kellen.
It wasn't. Well, he was he started 8 games in 2005, but I guess he didn't make it to the bowl game.
So who was the quarterback that did the Statue of Liberty against us in the Fiesta Bowl for Boise?
Is that Gradkowski?
It wasn't it wasn't
Zabransky.
I don't think it was. What was that, 2008 or 2000? Yeah, 2008 Fiesta.
I think it was Jared Zabransky. Does that sound right?
Let's see.
Man. Well, I got it pulled up. Oh, no, that's not the one I want.
Oh, it was 2007.
Okay.
Because it was off the 2006 season, which Paul Thompson played magnificently.
Yeah, when asked, yeah.
Was it Zabransky?
I think it was Zabransky, but
see, I don't think it was, but let me pull it up here. Glendale, Arizona.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I'm on the wrong year.
Yep.
How about that?
Ian Johnson was the back. He's the one that proposed to his girlfriend, the cheerleader.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
All right.
I just remember Marcus Walker. I thought he had sealed the game.
Yeah, exactly. Lindy Holmes with a pick 6. You know.
Yes.
Oh God.
Wasn't it Marcus Walker?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, so spring games, I mean, you know, here's the thing, and this is what I noticed on Twitter, and we'll kind of close out with this. Texas they are so high on Arch Manning after their spring game.
Oh yeah.
And I saw some of the highlights, and he had an amazing percentage. Drake May to lead the Pats to the Super Bowl this year, per Todd Bruner at the Coyote. So
okay,
Todd is an old school Pats fan. I mean, I think
he's a Steve Grogan Pats fan.
All the way back to Grogan and Eason,
Jim Plunkett,
all those guys. Yeah. Did you see their first round quarterback picks over the history last night?
Jim Plunkett, Steve Grogan, was he a first rounder?
No, he wasn't.
Eason was.
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
And I think it was Mac Jones, and then now Drake May.
Well, Mac Jones would have been okay, but Bledsoe was good. He led him to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Bledsoe.
They haven't been. If you look at the my team's first round quarterbacks track history.
Oh yeah,
before Mahomes,
awful.
The 1983 draft. Perfectly good Dan Marino sitting there, and they take Todd Blackledge.
And that's the one that they did the 30 for 30 on.
Mm-hmm.
Which really just kind of exploits even worse how bad
they
stuffed it.
Oh my gosh,
there was other quarterbacks that they could have looked at that year. Wasn't who was the Jets?
Jim Kelly.
Kelly. Neil O'Donnell,
gosh, not Neil O'Donnell, because he was drafted by the Steelers. It was Ken O'Brien.
Ken O'Brien, yeah, I knew it was
Ken O'Brien.
But anyways, did you hear me?
Huh?
So I knew it was some Mick.
Oh, wow.
No, yeah. So, anyways, where I was going at is, so Arch Manning is the up and comer now after a big spring game.
Well, I mean, it's funny is you bring that up because there wasn't anybody in the same stinking frame with those receivers as they caught the ball.
No, and it's like,
so what are we doing here, guys? Just throwing it as far as he can, and
it's the same.
It's like he looked like a Make-A-Wish kid out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh Lord, I can't believe
But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
We're even stinking covered. He just
Yeah, I mean, he was a full 15 yards behind the last defenders, and we've seen fool's gold in spring games before, and
no kidding.
I'll go to Brandon Daniels. I'll go to even Eric Moore, and then even during the Stoops era, there was some springtime busts. I mean, I think Bomar was on campus before he actually started.
No. Kyler Murray had one of the worst spring games I've ever seen, and then he went and won the Heisman.
Yeah.
But you know how the spring is in Oklahoma.
I don't mean to punch you in the gut here, but I think they win the 2018 title if they got Kyler starting instead of 2017 title instead of Baker.
No, you know why you're wrong?
Why am I wrong?
They probably win the 2017 title if they put the ball in Baker's hands instead of trying to run a jet sweep on 4th and 1, or put the ball in the hands of the best running back on the field, who was Rodney Anderson.
Guy had 290.
You need a yard.
Yeah. All right. So Texas, I'll just say this: there is no quarterback controversy there. Is not going away from Quinn Ewers.
I mean, Quinn is mid, but he's the starter.
He's 2 seasons in the system. I mean, Manning can come out and be, because here's the thing, Jeremy. I never thought Eli Manning was that impressive in college.
Yeah, his senior year, because he did stay all 4 years. He was pretty good at Ole Miss. But no, he was good. He was really good in 2 games in the NFL.
Yeah, I think we're way over time here, so
sure,
we better get going. So, what's on your agenda for the weekend?
Let's see. I got to paint these walls tomorrow. I got to start spackling here in a little bit after we go to the gym.
Oh, so you're DIYing it?
Yeah,
Friday night.
Yeah, I know.
Look at you, man.
I'm
going to be in my recliner in about 45 minutes. So.
I got things to do, man. My aunt was in town, so we went and spent a little time with her and my mother today. So, it kind of took a chunk out of my day.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
of course, I had to mow yesterday.
You're a motivated guy, but and it kind of shows when we stand shoulder to shoulder. But it's one of those things that I'm kind of at that point. So, but no, well, I tell you, we made a trip earlier city for some appointments and stuff, and I got to check in on my my buddy Billy Martin, the coach at OCU soccer, and it was real cool to get to hook up with him and talk old times with him and stuff. And I tell you what's amazing is I just constantly, Jeremy, am running into people that I've just known over the years, and with social media, I always take the opportunity to try to showcase that. So it's pretty cool. Ran into a guy that I went to church camp with for years, that's coaching, assistant coach in baseball at Chickasha, and so always a fun time. But really, this is just kind of a rest weekend. But as far as viewing goes, obviously, I think I'll take in the Mavs Clippers game tonight, and maybe try to stay up and watch the Suns and Wolves. But here's the thing: those West Coast TNT games. I mean, if I'm going to watch the game, I want to watch the post game with Chuck and Shaq and the Jet. And that's
at midnight.
That's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I know. I don't care for that. There are literally 3 games on. Start them earlier. Exactly. Let's go.
All right. Well, listen, good job today, man. We've gone long, but that just means more content. And we want to thank Ronda Smickless with the Children's Network Foundation, or the CNF Kids. CHF. Children's Health Foundation. Sorry.
That's it.
CHF, and I should have wrote it down, but I've got the email. We're going to share that on our social media as well. Be sure and follow us at Lawdog Sports. And then also we have a secondary Facebook page, Jeremy, the Lawdog Sports Podcast. So one has our mugs on there, and from back in the time when I was quite a bit thinner. You look the same. But so
a little more gray.
And so that's the Lawdog Sports. That's where we'll be kind of be smart Alex and stuff like that. Lawdog Sports Podcast will be kind of more of the official content and stuff that we'll share And we might need to start going live on that one. I don't know. I think it shares on both, so we'll worry about that. But we want to thank Marty Wandry from Clinton Liquor for checking in. Todd Bruner also for giving us his Patriots insight. And you know what, Jeremy? I wouldn't care if Drake May did turn out to lead him to a Super Bowl. It wouldn't hurt.
Oh, I don't. That'd be cool. You know, I don't mind being wrong, but
No,
I don't think we are.
We've seen enough through our years of watching football to
I just want to know who's developing the kid, and it goes back to my theory: defensive head coach drafts young quarterback, and it just doesn't work.
Man, you sound like that guy on Fox Sports from 11 to 1 on weekdays.
Hey, baby.
That guy in LA.
In LA. So I'm watching the sunset.
Yeah. Hey, have a great weekend. Good to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
He's Jeremy Schroeder. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog. He's the ruler of the airways. I am the Lawdog, and we'll be back with you next Friday on the Weekend Big Show. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. We'll talk to you real soon.
So did you